Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In this video we're talking about Nintendo Switch, Sega Saturn, Steam, and more. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on Android with Skyline, and Skyline's got a couple of brand new updates. If you head to skyline-emu.1 and click on download, at the time of filming here they've released 3 different versions today. Version 2510, 2511, and 2513. Now it's worth pointing out that we've talked about these changes before when they were a part of the paid testing early access version of Skyline Edge. And now that these things have been tested out and bugs have been fixed, they've rolled these changes to the mainline build. So as of mainline 2511, they've reworked the on-screen controls. There's a new draggable and collapsible control panel that has replaced the fab bar. They say this improves the user experience when editing buttons. There's also a toggle mode for buttons, so you can press the button and it remains pressed until you press it again. They've added in customizable stick activation radius. They've also added in stick regions, so you can extend the activation area of the sticks to rectangles covering the corresponding half of the screen. And you can now show current input values on screen when you're testing your on-screen controls. And on top of that, with mainline version 2513, they've implemented saves management. So saves can now be imported and exported right in the app, which is a huge benefit. And it'll make things a lot easier when you're updating or changing versions later on. And on top of that, it appears there may be some performance updates, especially with Mali GPUs, so you might want to check out the latest version. Next up, we're talking about SRM, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Steam ROM Manager, depending on how you want to interpret that. Anyways, here, Steam ROM Manager is a great tool for importing non-Steam things into Steam, for example, your GOG games or your Epic games, or possibly not even a game at all. Anyways, here Steam ROM Manager just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, version 2.4.15 is the latest update. We've got a bunch of bug fixes and some brand new additions, including one quality of life update that I think is amazing. They've added the ability to add games to categories created in Steam, and this includes favorites and hidden. Steam ROM Manager is free, it's open source, and I'll drop a link to it in the description below. Feel free to check it out. Moving on, and we're talking about the Sega Saturn, and some people might be extremely excited about this one. Shadows of the Tusk is getting an English translation. For those who may not be aware, Shadows of the Tusk is a turn-based deck-building strategy game for the Sega Saturn, and it was released back in 1998. Now, they haven't fully completed the translation just yet. They've done the options, the battle menu, and the dialogue, but they still have to do the main story. If you wanted to see the game in action, I'll drop a link to this YouTube video in the description below, and feel free to check it out. Next up, we're quickly talking about Mortal Kombat 2, and it appears that Karl Urban is in final talks to play Johnny Cage. A lot of people were expecting The Miz to play Johnny Cage, but apparently it's going to be Karl Urban. I'm not quite sure on how I feel about this. I'd argue that Karl Urban is probably the better actor. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you even care in the comments below. Next up, another quick one. If you're a fan of nice soothing background music while you try to do stuff, there's a brand new Breath of the Wild concert that you might want to check out. It's close to 2 hours in length, and I would say this is pretty satisfying to listen to. Next up here, I've got a fun fact for you, or not a fun fact if you don't like the game. But Hogwarts Legacy has apparently topped 15 million in sales and grossed over $1 billion. That's a lot of money, and the game doesn't seem to be slowing down. If you've played this game, which you probably have considering how popular it is, let me know in the comments below. And last up, this is more of just a PSA, but if you've been getting more spam than normal lately and you've registered a Western Digital device in the past number of months, well, the two might actually be related. Western Digital has apparently been hacked. So according to Western Digital, on or around March 26th of this year, they were hacked, and some of the stuff that was hacked included customer names, billing and shipping addresses, email addresses, and telephone numbers. It doesn't appear any more personal information than that was taken, but they're still investigating. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.